Curious about what's coming next after One UI 7? While the rollout for One UI 7 isn't completely finished yet, Samsung has already moved on to developing the next update, One UI 8. Even though it's still early, we're starting to see some exciting hints about what's in store for users in the near future. So, what should you expect from One UI 8? Well, it's not going to be another massive redesign like One UI 7. Typically, Samsung doesn't follow up a big design overhaul with another one right away, but that doesn't mean One UI 8 doesn't have its share of improvements. Instead of focusing on radical changes, One UI 8 seems to be all about fine-tuning and adding useful features to enhance the user experience. One of the notable additions is a feature called Now Brief. This was first introduced on a few newer devices but will soon be available on many more models, extending beyond just the Galaxy S25 series. This is definitely a welcome feature for those who want quick access to important information, and it'll be exciting to see it on more devices. For those who love mobile videography, there's great news in One UI 8. One of the standout upgrades is the addition of log video recording on more phones, including the Galaxy Z Flip 6. This feature will give users more control over their video editing process, allowing them to adjust color grading and other aspects of their footage before it's even edited. Samsung is also making file sharing smoother. With One UI 8, Quick Share will get a more straightforward interface, clearly separating send and receive options. It might sound like a small change, but it will make a big difference when it comes to transferring files between devices, making the process much more user-friendly. In terms of design, One UI 8 will introduce some subtle changes to the Quick panel. The toggles will get a new look with extra shading that makes them appear more layered and polished. It's not a complete redesign, but it will bring a refreshed look to an often used feature. Another change users will notice is in how menus look in apps like Gallery. Instead of flat menus, One UI 8 will use a circular design around the menu options, making them easier to see and tap on. This is a small update, but it's one of those little tweaks that can make a big difference in how you interact with your phone on a daily basis. While these are some of the key features we've seen so far, there's still a lot more to look forward to. Since the update is still in development, Samsung could add even more features before the official release. Some rumors suggest that there could be improvements in multitasking, new options for the lock screen widgets, and better control in Samsung DeX mode. There's also talk of minor updates to the Galaxy AI features, but nothing's been confirmed yet. Even though One UI 8 isn't likely to be as revolutionary as One UI 7, it's not a bad thing. One UI 7 brought a lot of major changes, and now One UI 8 is shaping up to be more of a refinement, with small but impactful updates that will make the overall experience smoother and more polished. It's all about making the system better without changing things too drastically. The clock is ticking though. Samsung typically reveals its new foldable phones at the Unpacked event in the summer, and One UI 8 is expected to launch alongside the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7. This means we won't have to wait too long for the final version of the update, and any significant changes will need to be finalized soon. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest news in mobile tech and software, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Can Apple finally get it right this time? That's the question people are starting to ask after new leaks about the iPhone 17 Pro started making the rounds. We're still months away from the launch, but early details are already making waves, especially around the design. And it looks like one of the most talked about complaints might finally be getting fixed. For the last few iPhone releases, the design on the back has been a bit of a letdown for many users. The black camera section paired with a different colored rear panel never really made sense to some people. It looked like two different phones mashed together. But this year, things might be different. Leaked images suggest that Apple is going for a more consistent and clean look, with the camera area blending in with the rest of the back panel. No more awkward color contrasts, just one solid color all the way through. And this isn't just based on some random leak. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who's known for getting Apple news right more often than not, also said in his newsletter that the iPhone 17 Pro will drop the two-tone design. So if that odd design choice was something that stopped you from upgrading in the past, it looks like Apple has listened. Now let's talk about the camera setup. Apple isn't changing the triple lens layout, but they are tweaking how it's arranged. Instead of the current triangular style, lenses will now sit in a horizontal bar across the back of the phone. On one end, there's the LED flash, and just underneath that, the LiDAR scanner. That LiDAR sensor helps with depth and makes augmented reality features more accurate. When Apple first added 3 cameras to the iPhone 11 Pro, people weren't really sure about it. Some even called it strange or ugly. But once people actually saw the phone in person, those complaints faded. The same thing might happen again with the iPhone 17 Pro's horizontal layout. It might seem odd in pictures, but chances are it'll look better in real life, just like before. On the performance side, the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max will be powered by Apple's upcoming A19 Pro chip. This chip will be built using TSMC's third generation 3nm process, also known as N3P. At one point, there were whispers that Apple would switch to a 2nm chip this year, but that didn't work out. The costs were too high and the supply was limited. So they've saved the 2nm chips for the iPhone 18, which will bring the A20 series chips next year. Still, the A19 Pro chip is no slouch. Even though it's not a huge leap like the 2nm chip would have been, it still brings performance improvements and better power efficiency compared to the previous generation. So if you care about speed and battery life, this new chip is going to deliver solid results. Another change that's getting attention is the possible introduction of a new model called the iPhone 17 Air. This version is expected to be thinner and lighter, replacing a Plus model in the lineup. Apple seems to be focusing more on sleek and modern looks this time around, not just in the Pro models, but across all versions. If you've seen some of the early prototype leaks and were worried about the rear design or the color mismatch, it's probably safe to say that Apple is working to clean things up. They usually fine-tune everything before the final release, so what we're seeing now might not be the full picture yet. With all these updates, the iPhone 17 series is shaping up to be more polished and better thought out. So the big question now is, are you thinking of upgrading this year? Or are you holding out for the iPhone 18 with the newer chips? Tell us what you're planning in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next update. Did you know that Apple is putting all its foldable display eggs in one basket? According to a new report, Samsung Display will be the only company making the OLED panels for Apple's first ever foldable iPhone. That's right, Samsung beat out both LG Display and BOE from China to win this massive deal. Now this lines up with an earlier report by analyst Jeff Pu, who said Apple and Samsung had already made a deal for foldable OLED panels. It looks like Samsung is not only Apple's biggest rival in smartphones, but also its key display supplier. Let's talk specs because we've got some juicy details. A well-known leaker from China, Digital Chat Station, shared some information on Weibo. The iPhone Fold is expected to feature a 7.76-inch internal display with a resolution of 1920 by 2713 pixels, giving it a pixel density of 428 ppi. For comparison, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has a sharper display with 460p pi, but the difference might not even be noticeable to most users. Now the outer screen or the cover display will also be made by Samsung and is said to measure 5.4 inches with a resolution of 1422 by 288 pixels, bringing the pixel density close to 460p pi. That's pretty much the same as the iPhone 13 mini, so the folded phone should feel compact and pocketable. And here's something cool. The main 7.76-inch screen is expected to come with an under-display front camera, while the outer screen will have a hole-punch lens. This setup means you'll be able to take selfies and make video calls with either screen, depending on how you're using the phone. Production of these foldable panels is set to begin either late this year or early next year. Apple is aiming to start full-scale production of the iPhone Fold around the same time. They're also working hard to reduce or eliminate the crease in the middle of the foldable display, which has been one of the biggest complaints with other foldables on the market. Now let's talk about the price. The iPhone Fold is expected to cost around $2,000, which would make it one of the most expensive iPhones ever. That's even more than Samsung's latest foldables. Speaking of Samsung, even though they're supplying the displays, Apple's entry into the foldable market is going to make things tougher for them. Samsung currently holds 40% of the global foldable phone market, but Chinese brands have been eating into that share fast. And now, with Apple stepping in, Samsung is going to face even more pressure. It's a strange situation. On one hand, Samsung is helping Apple build this device by providing the displays, but on the other hand, they're going to lose sales when some users switch from Galaxy Foldables to the iPhone Fold. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Overall, it's clear that Apple isn't just testing the waters here. By going with Samsung as the sole display supplier and working on advanced tech like under-display cameras and crease reduction, they seem to be taking foldables seriously. We're still a few months away from official reveal, but if production stays on track, we could see the iPhone Fold launch sometime next year. So are you excited about Apple finally releasing a foldable phone, or do you think it's too late to the party? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tech news just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.